Alright, Xray3Delta, I want to say thanks for doing this, video series debates. You're not the first. Maybe you won't be the last. Somebody responding to this video here. Got to do it quick because I've got a 5-minute time limit. That's what we agreed on. Well, 5 minutes and some change because that's what you did. So, to me, 5-minute videos are like, that's a handicap. So anyway, what I want to say is, essentially twofold. That you've got my position pretty much correct in the first minute of your video, but then what you do with it is totally fucked up. If I can use that terminology, it's totally fucked up because you're just either missing the forest for the trees or something, and you're manipulating data that just, you're being disingenuous. Because I see you're reading off a piece of paper, so I know you did some research, and I just can't believe that you're actually saying what you're saying. Because, for example, you wanted to use Western Europe as an example of paganism with regard to Christianity. So, that's my side. I'm stuck with Western Europe. And you're stuck with Christianity, the evangelists that enlighten these fucking idiots. No, actually, I'm stuck with ancient Greece. That's what the master's stuck with. See, the thing about the master is, the thing about the pinnacle of evolution is it's always the pinnacle. It's not the fucking shit that gets swept under the carpet. I don't think you realize that. See, the thing is, when you want to point out pagan cultures as examples of the master's influence, what you have to do is find the best pagan culture, the one that survived, the one that actually gave birth to our country, like the United States of America, the greatest country on earth today, was based on a pagan ideal. That is due to Aristotle, the politeia, the system of government as a representative democracy. That comes from Aristotle, a pagan. It does not come from the book of Leviticus. It does not come from your Bible. It comes from a pagan. But you pick the wrong pagans because you want to polemize the issue and not really debate things intellectually, it seems to me. Because I'm just catching all kind of errors in what you're saying. Now you got my points right. You got my general outline of my outlook on the world correct. But when you start trying to look at countries and say, well, whose country's on Jason's side? Well, let's take Chad. Why are we taking Chad? That's an Islamic country. That has nothing to do with Satanism. It has nothing to do with the master's current, except that it's something that's going to get swept under the fucking rug. It's something that's going to get destroyed because it's weak. Or Ethiopia. Ethiopia is probably the oldest currently Christian country on the planet. I say currently, it has continually been Christian from day one. Ethiopian Christianity, Coptic Christianity, is the oldest surviving stream of Christianity in the world. It's older than Roman Catholicism, which is to say something. Which you said when you mentioned fucking Haiti. Haiti is officially Roman Catholic. It's officially Christian. But what about the Sudan? That's like Christians fighting Muslims. You know what I'm saying? Or then you pick the Central African Republic. I kind of wonder why all the countries you picked are in Africa. You know what I mean? Why aren't they in Western Europe where the majority of atheists are today, like, Sweden or Denmark or... I guess because that wouldn't have proved your point. But see, the thing is, you're not proving your point by sticking me with all these countries that are repressive Christian theocracies or Islamic theocracies. That's what they are. They're not Satanist ideals at all. You see, the Satanist, from a standpoint, is not looking at a particular country, or the master is not developing a particular country at the expense of the rest. The master is developing the current of evolution at the expense of the weak. So you can have strong individuals in the face of weak individuals. You can have strong countries in the face of weak countries. It's an analysis that you had it right on paper when you read it in the first minute, but then when you start to try to apply it, you totally screw yourself over. To stick me with all these countries that believe in the one God to a greater or lesser degree. Even the Central African Republic, that was like the 5th country you gave me. It's, the majority are, not majority, the greatest plurality are fucking pagans, but when you add up the Christians, the Muslims, and the, Catholics, they add up to being greater than the fucking indigenous population. So it's whatever. And then you start talking about, examples of atheist countries like Vietnam. You're right, Vietnam is the most atheist country in the world, but then you mentioned North Korea. Well, you fucked up because South Korea actually has a greater, I think it's almost a 2-to-1 atheist advantage percentage-wise, not just saying, individual-wise, percentage-wise over North Korea. So South Korea, which is the better Korea, has a greater percentage of atheist population. And then you're just totally missing the point by not looking at the actual industrialized countries in the world that have a preponderance of atheists and how they actually take better care of their citizens than maybe even we do here in this country. Like I said, Sweden, Denmark, etc., even Germany, France, etc. So, you know, I'm getting down to that 5-minute mark, but I think what you're doing here in your video is that you're giving me the right position at the get-go, but then you're sticking me with all this nonsense. It just doesn't work. So let's see where it goes from here. Jason King, YouTube channel 2. Thanks for the video.